I have been trying to get in touch with her, and she can attest to this, for weeks and weeks and weeks, months. I've been wanting to talk to Germaine de Randamie. She is kind enough to join us on the phone. She is joining us right now. Germaine, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
I appreciate you joining us. How long have I been bothering you for? I feel like I've been a major pest. And so I promise you after this interview, I will leave you alone for a very long time.
It's been a very long time, I have to say. I admit it. Yeah, you were persistent, I have to say.
Well, thank you. It's great to talk to you. It's great to have you on. There's so much to talk to you about. How, Germaine, you haven't said much. You haven't done many interviews, if any, since all this has happened. How would you describe the last few months? How has it been for you since becoming champion and then the aftermath and then getting stripped of the belt, moving on with your career? How has it been?
Well, I think a lot of people know, it's been a roller coaster of a lot of emotions, and a lot of bad things happened. I'm a very positive person, and a lot of negative things happened, and I hope that I'm at the point that I want to move on, and I want to continue my journey and go wherever it takes me, and leave all the negative things behind. And whatever happens, happens. And, I'm just happy to be where I am right now, mentally, physically, and I'm ready to go back and make my name count.
So could you tell us what happened? I mean, at some point they probably came to you and said, would you like to fight Cris Cyborg? Would you like to defend your title against her? And you ultimately, I guess, said no. Is that what happened? And was there a negotiation involved? Could you tell us how this all came to be to the point where you're not defending your belt on Saturday?
Yeah, of course. How did it go? Well, first we had the whole roller coaster with the Holly Holm thing with her appealing the decision.
Yeah.
And then the UFC contacted me to see if I was interested in fighting July 29th against Cyborg. But before, let me go back a little bit before that, because before I signed the bout agreements with Holly, I discussed with the UFC. This was all before I signed the bout agreements for that fight. I told the UFC I'm willing to take the fight, but just know I want to drop back to 135 pounds. I mean, the current champion, she's a great champion, Amanda Nunes. I have a loss against her, and I hope just one day to revenge my loss against her. And the UFC was very willing, and they said they had absolutely no problem with me dropping back down after the fight with Holly. So I fought Holly, and then the UFC contacted me and talked to me about fighting Cris Cyborg at 145 July 29th. And my team and I, we have discussed this, and there was a point that she got caught with the diuretic. Then she got permission for it, and we discussed this all together, and the plan was to go back to 135 before everything happened ever. And we discussed that she being caught with the diuretics, and diuretics are also being used sometimes as blockers for other stuff in your system, we decided not to take the fight. Not only because of the steroid thing, or me thinking that me being against people that abuse substances. It was also, I was not going to be able to be ready at July 29th. I have a full-time job. Fighting for me right now is hobby. I don't live a fighter life. I work 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. And besides all that, I still have to train. So my whole preparation for Holly was, some days I was able to train, and some days I wasn't even able to train. And I said to the UFC, my hand is still bothering me. I'm waiting for the results of the doctors and to see if we can push things back. But I also have no time for rest or take a vacation from my work. So I will not, it's not possible for me to be ready. And, as every decision as a human being, if you're a human being and you make a decision, a decision has consequences. And the consequences for me were that the UFC stripped me from the belt. And I found out just like everybody else.
And so you mentioned that to me, that you found out. You didn't know that they were ultimately going to do that, or you did not know that they were going to do it on that day?
I didn't know they were going to strip me of the belt that day. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Wow.
At that point.
And
there was a point that I realized that things like that will be a possibility, but like I said, I stand for my points. I stand for what I believe in, and I stand for what I'm against. And, I understand that people do not agree with my decision. I understand that people disagree with it very big, but besides people disagreeing, I've been through a lot of shit. People accuse me and have said the most horrible things to me. So that's also the reason why I stayed out of the media. And, talking to the media is cool and all stuff, but sometimes it's like media fuels a lot of haters, and people did very bad things, So, there comes a point, you have to choose for yourself and take a step back. And that's what I did. Reload, and here I am.
If the UFC, and we appreciate that, if the UFC would have offered you someone not named Cyborg, I don't know, Megan Anderson or Tanya Evinger, do you think you would have taken that fight and remained champion?
It's hard for me to think about what if, because there is no what if. I've said to the UFC, I want to drop back to 135. That's been my goal for a very long time. I believe the 135 division is the Queen's division of women's MMA. There's a lot of amazing fights for me left there. And like I said, at that time, when I was still the champion, there was no girl besides Cyborg signed at 145. So for me to think about the what ifs, I don't know. And I haven't thought about the what ifs.
Is it hard to? Because when you're champion, you probably make more money, right? There's probably more a higher purse. So now you're going back down to 135. You're fighting Marion Reneau in Rotterdam in September. I'm assuming you're making less. How do you react to that? How do you digest that?
To be honest, I have absolutely no problem with it. Like I just said, fighting is hobby to me. It's not my work. It's not the money I pay my bills with. I don't fight for money. I truly fight because I truly love fighting. If I start fighting for money, I will set aside my principles, and I won't do that. And at the moment I start fighting for money, I start to have less fun in it. Because it's business, and fighting is not business for me. This is fun. And the moment I don't love it anymore is the moment I will hang up my gloves.
Did you consider not coming back? You said it got, very unpleasant, and did you consider just saying, you know what, forget all this, I'm not coming back?
No, never.
Okay.
I'm not a quitter. No matter what people say, I'm not a quitter. I always come back. I'm like I said, I love fighting. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. Of course, when people say those horrible things to you, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. And it doesn't only hurt for me, but if I think about the fact that people write to me that I could better commit suicide and I'm not worth living, if people have the guts and think it's okay to write people stuff like that, they can do it with anybody else. And maybe they write it to that one person that just doesn't feel right at that time. God may know what happens to that person or what that person might decide because they're not worth living. That goes deep. It's not only for me. This involves many other people. How many kids have been bullied, have committed suicide? I think that's horrible. And I think, I think that's horrible because my only mission in life is to share what I love so much with other people that love the same thing as much as I do. You have spectators and you have the people that do it. But eventually, we all love MMA. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. All that has happened, that is nothing or something I've ever wanted. I'm a very positive person. I really enjoy life. I love helping people. I love being happy. And, that time, that was a dark time. But like I said, I'm no quitter. Nobody can stop me. I decide to stop whenever I want to stop. I will stop on my own terms.
How bad did it get? Was that the rock bottom moment when people are telling you that you should kill yourself? For what? Crazy.
Yeah, well, people even made gravestones with my name on it and with my day of death. So they send it to me. And I'm not talking about one picture. I'm talking about a lot of pictures. I'm talking about a lot of people that told me that I should commit suicide and that I'm worthless. And so, no, it's not. I've never been rock bottom, but it did hurt me. And just not only for me, like I just said, it hurt me because people think that it's okay to write somebody something like that. Mm-hmm. And I have great support. People around me that love me, support me, and I have a great team behind me. I can say I'm blessed, but what if I didn't have that? What if I was thinking, yeah, I'm worthless? Or what if some girl or boy somewhere in the world thinks they're worthless just because somebody thinks it's okay to write people stuff like that? You can have an opinion. You don't have to like me. You can disagree with the decisions I've made. You can, but you don't have to hurt people with things. That's my opinion.
And so people were mad because you weren't fighting Cyborg? Is that what you gathered?
Yeah, they were pretty mad, yeah. And they were also pretty mad about the bell thing.
Right, of course. Do you regret anything? If you could go back, would you change any decision or anything that you've said or anything you've done?
No, I don't regret anything. Like I said, I stand for my principles, and I believe that forbidden substances are not allowed in sport, and especially not fighting. I mean, this is a full contact sport. People, have ended up in a wheelchair. I was just reading the other day a story of a guy, a boxer, who did his first pro fight and now is drinking out of a straw. I mean, we put our lives on the line. We're here to entertain people. I don't regret anything. There are things that I don't support, and that's my opinion. And yeah, of course, I regret, that moment in the fight that had happened, that I hit, that I was in a moment and I threw the combination. Of course, I regret it because I don't know even how to say it anymore. I play fair, and it's my deepest apology if I hurt anybody with that, even Holly. I mean, if that's not me, I would never risk me not winning a world title fight and being disqualified for something this stupid. That's not me. But I don't regret any decision I've ever made.
How is your hand feeling?
Right now, I have no pain. I've talked to the doctors, and they treated me right now, and I have to have surgery. But I explained to the doctor, we talked, and they're managing me now with physical therapy against the pain. But so right now I have no pain, but I do have to have surgery. But I wanted to come back first. I wanted to make a statement for myself. I want to fight for my fans, for me, and for my team. And I want to do that first. Surgery can wait.
Okay, so
as long as I can handle the pain,
yeah,
it's okay.
You're not going to have the surgery before the Marion Reneau fight?
No.
What was it like that day that they took the belt away from you? I mean, you've been in this game a long time. You've competed in combat sports outside of MMA. What I recall was when you were brought in originally in Strikeforce, people were thinking that you were going to be the one to beat Cyborg. And then the day that they took it away from you, what was that like?
It's funny because that day I was working and some friends of mine, they texted me, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why is everybody texting me, "Are you okay?" So I asked one of my friends, I'm like, "What's up?" So they sent me the article. So I read it. And to be honest, it didn't hurt at all. I felt, at a point, I felt kind of relieved because of all the negative stuff that happened. All the negative viral that was keep coming and coming and coming. It continued every day. So I don't care about the belt. What I do care about is staying me. And it's okay that they took away the belt. But the only thing what I cared about was the things that people said. And I don't care that people tell me that I'm scared of Cyborg. I fought a guy who was 40 pounds heavier in a boxing match. I'm not a boxer. I fought the best stand-up girls in the world, the very, very best. I was the reigning world champion in 3 different weight divisions at the same time. I fought every girl. People can say I'm scared. I don't mind. As long as I can look myself in the mirror and know I'm not scared. People can say I'm a cheater. I know I'm not a cheater. Of course it hurts, but I can't change a person's mind. If they believe that, it's their opinion. But all the other stuff, yeah, it did hurt me. That hurt me more than losing the belt. Because like I said, I just want to share my love. So, yeah, that was what hurting me.
Is that why you made your Instagram private?
Yeah. And there was a point that I had enough of all the negative stuff. And, that's why I made it private.
And so I've actually mentioned this on the show, you fighting a man, people saying that you're, the female Anderson Silva, people saying that you're the one who's going to beat Cyborg. If you say this, you put your resume out there to people and they say, so what was the problem? Like, why, just go out and beat her. Just go. Why didn't you ever consider saying like, you know what, let me just go beat her. Let me prove that you don't need PEDs. Let me prove that you can do this the right way. You never considered it?
No.
How come?
I want to have kids one day. And what's the message that I want to send out to kids? That it's okay to use pets in sport? Is that the message? Is it? I don't want to send a message. I fought somebody to prove everybody I could beat a person, but I'm against it. I'm a police officer here in Holland. Pets are forbidden. No, I don't have to prove myself. Mm-hmm. People can doubt my resume. People can doubt my opinion. It's okay. We all are entitled to have an opinion, but that's not a message I want to send. And I mean, pets do not belong in sports, not in MMA, not in boxing, not in soccer, not in American football, not in baseball, not in anything. It just doesn't belong there. And that's the message I stand behind.
What do you think would have happened if they offered you the rematch against Holly Holm immediately after?
I've said it before. If Holly wants to rematch, I'll give her a rematch. But we can still rematch. We can do it at 135.
Okay, but what if they would have said, for the belt, we're going to do it? Do you think you would have remained champion?
Yes, no doubt.
Wow, so it really came down to not wanting to fight Cyborg because of her past.
No, it's not. It didn't only came down to that. What it came down to was I wanted to drop back to 135, and yes, I'm also against the use of pets in MMA. Mm-hmm. Every fighter would have still been suspended because they didn't ask permission for using a diuretic. Every fighter would still get punished. But then all of a sudden it was okay. Because that's what USADA claims, right? You need to ask permission if you use medication.
Yep.
Okay.
How did the UFC, I know you said you were kind of caught off guard, but in terms of like the process leading up to it and giving you space, were you happy with the way they treated you, handled you? Did you feel like they were receptive to what you were trying to say?
Partially, yes. Absolutely. Partially, yes, absolutely. But I understand the UFC partially too. They're a company, they need to make money. And if they want to continue the journey, they have to continue. I mean, I understand that, I understand certain things. I'm not a hateful person, Ariel. I'm not a hateful person. I understand it's a business, and I understand the UFC, and I hope the UFC understands me. And I think they do, because they asked me to fight in Rotterdam, and I'm here, am I?
Yeah.
So we're going to do it. We're going to have a hell of a party. So
Are you going to watch the fight on Saturday, the Cyborg fight? With the belt you once held, now it's vacant. Do you think you'll watch it?
Why not? Why not? I want to see Daniel Cormier versus John Jones.
But
why would I? I don't hate Cyborg.
Okay.
I have no ill will towards her. I have no ill will towards Tonya Evinger. Absolutely not. May the best woman win Saturday. And yes, why wouldn't I watch her?
I don't know.
To see her fight.
I don't know if it was like too fresh. You didn't want to think about it. I mean, It was your belt or something.
No.
The feelings were a little too much. I don't know.
No. Like I said, right now I'm in a great state of mind. I feel good. Like I said, I have a great team behind me. I'm truly in great spirits. I'm smiling every day, and I'm in great spirits. And the only thing I can say, I'm more motivated than ever. I will be stronger than ever. I will be more dangerous than ever. And I will still enjoy every fight I fight. I will go in with a smile, no matter the outcome, and I will come out with a smile. No matter if I get knocked out or get submitted or I get my hand raised. And because I still get to do what I love to do.
And last thing, you mentioned that you are now a police officer in the Netherlands. When did you become one?
A year ago, 2 weeks after the Rotterdam fight.
Okay.
A little bit more over a year ago.
And are you like on the street? Like, are people coming up to you and saying, "Hey, are you Germaine de Randamie, UFC champion?" Are you like, you work in an office, or are you on the streets?
No, I'm working on the streets. Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. We sometimes even make selfies, so that's cool.
And why did you want to become a police officer?
I truly believe I truly believe that I think everybody deserves to feel safe and free. And I want to give back to my people. I want to give back to my country. I want to give back to the people. I want people to feel safe. I want the streets to be safer. And if I can participate or give just a little bit, I'm a very blessed person. And I can say I'm very blessed.
And you're going now, right? I mean, you have a shift that's starting in a couple hours, overnight shift?
Yes.
So what's right. like what's on tap for tonight? Like, what will you be doing? Do you know?
Well, we will be driving around in a car, and then when we get a call, we have to go to the call. So we'll be sitting and waiting.
Are things relatively safe these days, or is there a lot of crime? What are you in Are you in Amsterdam or another?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how are things these days? Is there a lot of activity, or are things pretty quiet?
Well, it's summer. It's summer vacation here, so everybody is happy. It's good weather, and if you look overall, Holland is very safe. I can say that Holland is very safe. I live in a very safe country, and a lot of people, we respect each other here, and well, I believe everybody in their country respects each other. But I mean, yeah, we're safe here, and everybody's happy now. The sun is out. It's not it was raining a little bit today, but I mean, overall, it's good temperature. Yeah, people are happy.
And as you prepare for your fight, at some point, will you leave the police force and then take a break and then come back? How does that work?
Well, I had a few vacation days left. So this time I was able to take them off. So I will. This will be my last week of work, and then I'll be going back to work on September 4th. So I can prepare my whole camp and be free and just eat, sleep, and train. It's going to be the first time in a very, very long time. So we'll see how it goes.
And very last thing, do you think that what happened over the last couple of months will preclude the UFC? Like, if you go on a streak here and continue to win, beat Reneau, someone else, do you think that they will be open to giving you a 135-pound title shot, or are you afraid that they won't because of what happened?
I truly have no idea. I have no idea. But, the thing is, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. I truly believe I do have to fight a couple. I do have to fight a couple times. But it's up to me. It's the way I perform, and yeah, you have to earn things, and I will earn my way back up.
Okay. Well, Germaine, again, I really appreciate you coming on. I promise now I will leave you alone for quite some time. It meant a lot that you would finally do this, and open up. We wanted to hear from you. I think a lot of people wanted to hear your story, and whether we agree or not, I just appreciate you coming on and answering the questions and now trying to move on. And I'm sorry to hear that it has been such a nightmare over the last few months. Thank you for handling it with class, and I hope that it quiets down now and that you can focus on your job and life and getting back on track at 135.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and thank you for having me on your show.
All right, there she is, Germaine de Randamie, returning to action in early September 2nd to be exact, in Rotterdam at 135 against Marion Reneau, no longer the 145-pound champion. That belt will be on the line on Saturday at 2:14 as Cyborg fights Tanya Evinger in Anaheim.